welcome to this week's episode of My name is Kai.
And my name is Fraser.
What?
Yes, I'm Fraser.
Oh my god, since when?
Since the 24th of September 1997.
At what time? 11:30?
God knows.
It's close enough to 11:30, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. See?
How have you been, Kai?
I've been alright. I've been quite tired, to be honest, but I'm alright. How are you?
You stole my lines.
What do you mean?
No, I've been tired as well.
No, that's my line. You bugger off. So we got a cracking episode for them this week, haven't we, Fraser?
Yeah, because it's Easter and all.
Is it?
No, it's Halloween.
God, you made me think there. Few subjects we're going to cover in this one. One of them is we're going to be measuring how big the Antarctic is.
Spoilers, we'll be doing it in kilometres.
Yep. Extra spoilers, we're also going to measure the amount of water in the ocean.
Spoilers, that's in litres.
And finally, we're going to be talking about the PewDiePie 100 million subscriber statue thingamajiggy.
Which does actually look good.
It does. It's by E10, for anyone wondering. I'm sure you've heard of them because
of
a
course.
lot of YouTubers have things with it. And I know people like Memulous have one, for example.
Yeah.
But that's all I really know about them. But, you know, would you like to talk about this one?
Well, I mean, one of the things that they mentioned, this already sounds like we're bitching about it, but we're not. It's a cool thing. I mean, it's a PewDiePie statue. If you're a fan, of course you would want to. It's $30, not including shipping, which is about $7, which is a fair price for what you're paying for. You are paying for a limited edition statue, and you got 1 month to do it.
Yep.
PewDiePie did not pay us to advertise this, but you know he totally should now that we've mentioned it.
We should just stop mentioning anything until they pay us everything.
That's it. The end of podcast now.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Which is a fair price, but one of the things that they mentioned in the advertisement is that this is a limited thing. But
yeah,
they're taking pre-orders basically, which means every single order is going to be fulfilled. And it's not limited. They've got like a little number on the bottom of it, so you know what number yours is, what print yours is. But like, you know, because it's 100 million and they don't expect to sell 100 million, but imagine that. But they expect to sell enough to fill maybe 3 digits. Surely that suggests that there's going to be like maybe 999 million editions of it.
There could be 1 million.
Literally. Obviously, it's all down to how many people pre-order it. So I reckon the first 2 digits, where the 10 millions and 100 millions are going to be 0, I reckon that's just going to stay like that. But it doesn't really add the limited factor to it. It's more a limited time purchase rather than a limited quantity of statue.
Well, like you've said, they could have 999,999,999, couldn't they? So
yeah, they're literally going to fulfill every single order, which, fine, you know, maximize sales. But it just doesn't add value to it if everyone that's ordered it is going to be able to get one. Doesn't matter what number edition you've got. It's not like 1 of 1,000 or 1 of 10,000. It's 1 of how many people's ordered it, which I guess we'll only find out after 30 days.
And just for your convenience, if you are thinking of getting one, me and Fraser did the maths earlier. Buy it in dollars because it'll be the cheapest option for you.
That's if you're from the UK. If you're from other countries, we didn't figure it out. So figure it out yourself.
Well, that's true, actually. But I guess if it's cheaper in dollars for us, then it should be cheaper in dollars for everyone else.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Buy it in dollars. Don't buy it in the other ones. You're welcome.
Oh, before I forget, next week we're going to be doing a community episode, which we've already done this at the end of last week. I was about to say last week. We've already done this at the end of last month, where we answered everyone's questions in depth for everyone who submitted a question, or as many people as possible anyway. We're taking submissions again. We'll be putting out a tweet on Saturday, I believe. But feel free to tweet us anyway with some questions at Stuck in a Podcast. We're going to be asking for any of your questions, topics, or anything you've been dying to know from us, and we'll be recording that to go out next week. So be sure to submit your questions.
Aye.
Kai, have you seen the Alibaba contactless hotel?
You know what? I have, because you told me to watch it before we started this.
Smooth. So for those of you that don't know, there's this new hotel I think it's in China, and
It's in China. I searched it up. It is in China, and it's on the eastern side. So
okay.
it's quite near the Eastern Ocean.
And it's basically the first or one of the first truly contactless hotels. It's ran by Alibaba, which is basically China's equivalent of Amazon. And basically, you literally don't even need a key card. You don't even need to talk to anyone, really. Everything is done automatically. So when you arrive, there's no front reception, there's no desks. It's basically just a big room, and there's a few assistants there who essentially scan your face, and your face is your key card around the hotel. They tell you your room number, and then you go to the lift, your face is scanned, and then the lift automatically chooses the floor that you're staying on, just from your face alone. It takes you up to that floor. And then you get to your door, your face is scanned again on the door, and it opens up. You need no key cards, no nothing.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
It's cool, and like I would really love it to be somewhere in the UK, but like one of the things about it being in China, and I think everyone knows this, is the sheer privacy concerns from everything to do with cameras and data storage in China. Because I don't know too much about this, so I'm not going to obviously cover it. But isn't it China and Hong Kong where there's all of these riots going on about privacy and all these cameras? I think it's the Hong Kong riots.
I think I'm not 100% certain, because I'm not too much, like, I don't really like look into this sort of stuff that much. But I know that there are a lot of problems in both of those at the very second.
And like, I'm not going to comment on it massively because I'm not 100%.
We'll get banned from China.
Stuck in a podcast, banned from China.
Have you seen? That's like a real thing, though. PewDiePie's banned from China.
Is he? Oh!
He's banned from China from the Hong Kong video thing that he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to go into a little bit more detail?
If you search PewDiePie onto Google or YouTube or anything, I don't know if you get YouTube in China, I can't remember. But if you search it, he doesn't come up at all.
Wow.
They've like blocked his name, basically.
That's amazing. I didn't realise that was a thing.
Apparently so. So that is a thing. And Bart Baker, yeah, you remember him?
Oh yeah, I know him.
He's very popular in China now.
Really? Why?
For doing Chinese to English music things.
Chinese to English music? What, like English videos are No. Yeah, it must
basically
be.
Translating Chinese songs into English, yeah. A company's found him, and they're basically paying him to do that now.
Oh.
So he's actually given up on YouTube because his videos weren't being pushed out anymore.
So his career, he's basically a Chinese to English translator now?
No. He uses Google Translate, and if the words don't make sense, or if they don't rhyme, he finds something to replace the word or song lyric with.
Interesting.
It's a bit weird, but this company likes him. He's got blonde hair now.
Yeah.
So he's going right for it, I guess.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Fair play on him.
But that was just what like popped into my head because I watched a video on it yesterday.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realise he was doing that now.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so privacy concerns. They say that they only keep your data until your visit ends, which if they are true and they are telling the truth, that's fair enough. I mean, you need operational data. And like, oh, actually, I guess it isn't all doom and gloom, because you might be going, oh, that's typical of China to do that. Because like, remember when we went to Disney World and we had problems getting into the park? So we basically, when you go to Disney World, you get like your magic band or your magic card to get into the park. You scan your fingerprint and then you go through. And every single time you go through, without you knowing, a picture is taken of you.
That's true. We didn't actually know that.
We had no clue. There is nowhere which tells you anywhere in Disney World that your picture is taken when you go through. Except from, we went to the Rainforest Cafe on the evening of when we went to Animal Kingdom. And
you need to like exit the park, don't you? To
exactly.
Get into it.
Yeah, you need to exit the park to get into it. And then we wanted to go back into the park just after we were finished in Rainforest Cafe. And I had problems getting in. So I was scanning, I think the person in front of me had problems, the person behind me had problems. I think they had a dirty fingerprint reader, but there was problems getting in.
I got through fine.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But
I guess if the picture comes up with like person with red hair, there's not many people that I saw with coloured hair out there, I'll be honest.
Anyway, so yeah, I went to get in and I wasn't able to get in. It just wasn't recognising my fingerprint. They pulled me to the side and this guy was on his tablet and he was looking up my information. And he was looking through like a picture bank just to make sure that it was me. And I was like, I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that they were taking pictures of me as they were coming in. And obviously it was clearly me because he could identify me by my hair, identify me by my dress sense, because I usually wear... I wasn't actually wearing a hoodie, that's a lie. I was going with shorts and t-shirts and stuff. So he could identify me through that. And they said, right, I'm just going to take another picture of you to add to the picture bank. So then if this happens again, it's easily identifiable. But it was just initially him going through all the pictures like, whoa, I did not realise my picture was being taken. And I'm assuming that data is deleted when you leave the park.
Well, you hope so. You go back 2 years later with the same magic band.
Can you imagine that?
You look different.
Yeah, I'm like 3 years older. But that's crazy. Like, I guess this whole thing with Alibaba's hotel and keeping your date until your visit ends, I guess that's the exact same thing as Disney World, where it's all happening there.
At least you know your picture's kind of being taken and stuff, though, with this one.
Yeah, it's obvious. And, like, the attendants tell you that...
need it.
Yeah, the attendants tell you what's happening as well. They say, right, yeah, your data will be kept until the end. But in Disney World, I had no clue at all.
Yeah.
Which then makes you think, where else is this happening?
Primark.
What, every time you make a purchase, they take a picture of you?
No, every time you pick up a piece of clothing.
It's a picture of you.
Picture of you.
Ah, look at this guy. He doesn't have true fashion. Picking up his skinny jeans. They don't suit him. What the fuck?
Why is he buying that underwear? That's not gonna fit him.
Oh, look at this idiot. He's just bought a small when he needs a medium.
Oh! You never know, though. They could. But I'm quite interested in this place, though, because obviously it scans your face in the lift to take you to the correct floor. With no reception, they have a person that comes out if you're foreign, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you're a Chinese national, you scan your passport on this terminal, and then it tells you your room, and then that's it. You're off.
But if you're obviously foreign, they take a picture of you because, I guess your passport's different.
Yeah, I think if you're a Chinese national, because of all of these cameras and stuff, your face... Excuse me. Wow, I've got a Coca-Cola. I'm drinking that at the same time. Your face is stored in like a national database or something anyway, which I think is what these rights are about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's cool though because like inside the room, there you get your own Chinese style Alexa, so you need to speak Chinese to it, which obviously can be a problem if you're foreign. But like, you can ask it to turn on the TV. You can ask it to open your curtains. You can obviously ask it to like play music and do quick searches. But then one of the other cooler things with this hotel is that you can order a room service. And
God, what? What?
Wow, shock, horror, room service. Your room service is delivered by a robot.
Beep boop.
Literally, a robot calls an elevator. Like a human puts the thing in the robot. It can't just like pick it out automatically. A human puts the food or drink in the robot. The robot then takes itself up to your floor, so it calls for the elevator, and it detects like when it's near an elevator, so like the lift knows when to open up. It takes it up to your floor room. It rings the doorbell automatically because it detects that it's near, and then it brings the food or drink into you, where you then take it out. Which is mental. That's like completely eliminating an entire human's job there as a waiter or waitress.
In the restaurant.
They do.
And They also do it. They do it somewhere else, but I forgot where they do it.
The
They do
restaurant.
it in the bar as well. They have like a.
That's it. Yeah.
They make your drinks and stuff with a little robot arm and whatever else, which is pretty weird.
Yeah, like imagine the robots that are used to spray paint cars and move car parts around. It's
That's
one of
right.
those, but it's got a martini shaker on it.
It's programmed to do that, isn't it? Instead, so
It is pretty impressive, to be fair.
Quite
But once
weird.
again, that's another job that's been taken.
so that brings us to the ultimate question: are humans becoming very lazy?
And another
And
question.
Are robots taking over too many jobs?
Yeah.
And both of them, yes and no.
Yes, I agree there.
Because are humans becoming too lazy? Yes, because people are relying on these things, but no, because people have made these things to do this.
Yeah.
That's my logic of that. And are robots taking over too many jobs? Yes, but no,
I think
because
You
you
take-
always need a human still.
it's like with the bar, you're taking a bartender out the job, but you're putting an engineer in a job.
Yeah.
But then I guess that is shrinking and growing two different job industries at the same time.
But it's going to get to the point where I know, like, hotel workers and stuff, like, a lot of them are, like, general paid jobs. Most people can get them, for example.
Yeah.
It's going to take away the people that need those jobs, for example, being able to get them,
Yeah.
I guess. And another thing we didn't mention is cleaners are still existent in this hotel. They have a separate key card they will actually use for your room and stuff. So that's how your room gets cleaned and whatever else.
Although if a robot to clean your room did exist, I'd be straight on to buying that. I would want one for home.
Well, yeah, me too for my dad's stuff.
I mean, like dusting and stuff. Dusting is so boring. For vacuuming,
That's
like you've
true.
already got Roombas, they exist. And then
That's true.
for like cleaning the windows, I don't know if there is a window cleaning robot, but that'd be cool as well.
I don't think there is, to be honest. There probably is somewhere. There's always something, but who knows?
If anyone wants to go on that, feel free to do so. We'll take 20%
And if
commission
anyone wants to
each.
send one,
Yeah.
send it over. Our address is beep.
Yes, it is just boop.
Yeah.
And
Thank
yes,
you
I
for
did just
listening.
burp again. Wow, that was awful. I'm gross today. I'm ever
Well
so
done,
sorry.
Fraser.
It's because
Well
of
done.
this Coke. I finished drinking it ages ago, but like it's all coming up now. Oh, fuck it. Let's just carry on.
Well, that's pretty much the end of that subject, isn't it, really? If you think about it.
Yeah.
But
It is very interesting though. I'd recommend, like, if anyone wants to have a look at the video, just have a look on YouTube. It's called Alibaba's Keyless and Cashless Hotel.
it's by CNBC?
Yeah,
Is that right?
CNBC. So have a look at that if you want to see the whole video. It's really interesting. It's a really
It's about
good
5
watch.
minutes long, so you're not like
Yeah.
going to be wasting any time with it.
Yeah, go take a look at it.
I think it's very interesting. Also, room prices I was very impressed by. It was about 60 quid a night, I think it was.
Which is literally the price of an average hotel in a city in the UK.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting to see. So check it out, I guess. Best thing we can really offer there. And let us know what you think on Twitter at Stuck in a Podcast.
Indeed.
Which brings us on to another subject we're going to speak about now, which is completely unrelated. We're going Thorpe Park this weekend.
We briefly talked about this in episode 8. Like, we're going to be going to the Fright Night, which I've never been to before.
That's great.
And yeah, Kai said he's been there before.
So good.
And
So good.
we were going to go on the weekend that's just been, but the reason why we're going this weekend is A, I'm lazy and really tired, and so glad that we didn't go this weekend. And
Well, I think it was like you're working in London this week, so
yeah,
or like last week and this week. So I think it's good to do it right at the end as well.
yeah. And B, Tom and Aidan are also going to be coming down, so you know, the more people, the merrier.
Yay!
Which will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. We're also going to spend the day in London the next day, which will be nice.
And the new Pokemon Center has opened up there as well.
So excited to go into that. I don't remember whereabouts it is, but I'll have a look at that later.
I don't have a clue what's in it. I just know that it's been really hyped up. My friend's friend queued up for it on the day it opened. He was there 2 hours before, and there was a massive queue before the store had even opened. Yeah. And then, from what I heard, he was waiting in the queue for at least, I think because he's quite early, he only had to wait like at least an hour. But, you know, queuing for a shop to open, I mean, it's Pokemon, ain't it? You can see why.
I mean, it's only there for a month, so...
Oh, it's a pop-up?
Yeah, it's a pop-up shop.
Oh, there was me thinking it was a permanent shop.
No, it's a pop-up one.
Oh, no wonder people are queuing. Permanent. No wonder.
I don't think people will be queuing when we go, just for the sake of, I don't expect that.
No, it's been and gone then, hasn't it? The hype's all kind of like leveled out a bit, yeah.
But
I gotta go there.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
I'll find out where it is now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It is in London.
Really?
It's at Westfield, which is...
What's that near?
Well, it depends. I've got Westfield London and Westfield Stratford City, which are both in London.
Stratford?
I don't think it's in Stratford. I think it's in Westfield London.
So if you're in Westfield London on Sunday...
Shepherd's Bush.
Come say hi! Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush.
Well, that sounds wrong, doesn't it?
It's in Shepherd's Bush.
He's got a very baggy beard.
You are just... Shepherd.
I am a shepherd, yes.
Best way to get to it is probably by Shepherd's Bush Market, tube station.
So is it just a shop, or is there like activities in there? Like, because I haven't researched this at all. It's just a shop.
I think it might have the new Pokemon game in there, like on a little machine or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think the best like tube station for it and stuff is Shepherd's Bush, Market or something. It is, I don't know, maybe White City. Maybe White City might be easier.
It's somewhere in London, so like come say hi on Sunday. We might be there for like half an hour probably. Yeah,
it says it's open from noon till 6 on a Sunday, so that gives you a rough idea of when we might be there. If you hang around there, sad. But I'm excited for it. Basically what's in there is, I think it's mainly just Pokemon like figures and stuff and like plush toys and whatever else. Probably clothing. I'd expect clothing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it really, isn't it, for that?
Yeah.
But back to Thorpe Park. Friday night, 10 till 10. Very good. I'm hoping that my car hasn't been sabotaged more.
Sabotaged more? What do you mean?
Well, I told you there's a nail in like the wheel, isn't there? I need to unbuy a new wheel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I said this much, but my neighbours, they want to build like a place across the road, and a bunch of people around here don't want them to do it for whatever reason.
Right.
I think it's more they don't want another house, but I really couldn't give a shit, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But one of our neighbours, they parked their van next to it, next to their house, and found a big dent in the side of their van from a bolt. And there's also a big bolt like dent in the fence, where this would be. And then the other neighbour, like the same neighbour but the neighbour's partner, parked their car over there as well and found a nail in their wheel. So
do you think like people...
I'm wondering if they've sabotaged my car.
Do you reckon people are purposely doing that stuff in your area?
Yeah.
What, so it's like, with that bolt dent, it's not...
It's very much lined up.
So it's not a case of there's been a collision with that guy in the fence. It's...
No.
Someone's
they're taking my neighbours to court over being racist or something like that.
Oh my god, what's going on in your area?
You'll find out on Friday.
That sounds interesting.
It's very weird. I don't understand it too much, to be honest. But I haven't heard anything racist, so I'm saying that now. I'm home 24/7, so... London Crown Court or whatever it is. Hello. You have my word, I've not heard anything.
It's all going down in Kai-Town.
But that's about that really. Thorpe Park I'm excited for though. I'm really excited for this weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Gonna get everything like all work done by Thursday this week. It'll be marvellous.
I've got like a little story for you.
Go on.
Although it's nothing major, but like with work and stuff, and obviously with school, everyone routinely gets like fire evacuation drills, right? So like you test to make sure all the fire things are working. You test to make sure that everyone is evacuated fine and follows procedures.
Can I interrupt quickly?
Go for it.
I was walking through my house the other day, and I accidentally just smacked my fire alarm with a stick.
How do you accidentally smack a fire alarm with a stick?
I walked downstairs with a stick, came back upstairs, had it a bit too high up, and it smacked my fire alarm. And my fire alarm went, wee, wee, wee. And then my one downstairs also started going off. And I'm like, I'm pushing the button that says stop, and it's not doing anything. And I was like stuck for like 10 minutes trying to press the stop button. And eventually I smacked it again and it stopped.
Brilliant. Oh, well done, dickhead.
You continue though.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, so, you know, there's drills and stuff. Everyone gets evacuated. You just test to make sure that it works. What you don't know is the local fire department in your area is also called to let them know that this is a drill that's going on. Because it's done slightly different to just fire alarm tests. It's like an entire fire alarm system false activation. And the fire department's automatically called, but you've got to inform them that there's a drill going on so the fire brigade don't come. So this didn't happen in my workplace. There was a fire drill, except someone forgot to phone the fire brigade to let them know that there was a drill going on, which is obviously like the fire warden lead guy, you know, the people who conduct the drills, basically. They're supposed to do it. It wasn't communicated to them. Yeah, probably health and safety. So everyone was evacuated, and then the fire alarms all went off, and we were like, oh yeah, we're about to go in. Next thing we know, we just hit woo, as some fire engines come round the corner, expecting there to be a fire, and everyone's there just looking like, what on earth? Because we all figured out it was a drill, because, you know, no one's panicking, there's no smoke.
And then you start panicking when you hear
yeah, and then you're thinking, what on earth? I've left my phone in there, what's going on? And it just turns out that they forgot to communicate it to them, which is a massive waste of the fire brigade's time.
Yeah.
But it's exciting, like, for us, but it's also a waste of their time. But from what I've heard, they don't really get that many fires anyway these days. So, like, when there is a real fire, it is exciting for the fire department. This is what I've heard from the fire department themselves. But it's just still such a waste of time, because what if there was something that actually came up in those 5 minutes of us doing the drill?
Yeah, of course.
Then they've just put some fire engines out of action and could have potentially wasted the time of someone else who's actually in danger.
I got a very similar story for you. I got two, actually.
Go for it.
So when we had the kittens, you remember when we had the last kittens here? Yeah, there was like 6 of them.
Yeah.
They were downstairs and they knocked the phone off the hook downstairs, and one of my cats stood on the phone and called 999.
Oh no.
And like, obviously they answer and there's no one talking or anything like that on our end, because one of the cats have called them. And like they come like round at like 9 in the morning or something like that, knock on the door. My dad's not wearing any trousers or something like that, because he's just woken up from the knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Gone downstairs, kind of like peeked round the door, like to not let the cats out. How dodgy does this look already? Because my dad's peeking round like the side of the door, like once he's answered it, to like talk through to not let any of the cats out or whatever.
Yeah.
And he says, hello? And they're like, we got a call from this exact address for 999, and there was no one speaking on the line. My dad's still peeking round like this little gap in the door. And it's like, he's like, we haven't called anyone. And they say it's for this exact address. He looks over at the phone, realizes it's like off the hook or whatever, and like the door's like slightly open, and they're like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just not wearing any trousers." Oh, it must have been the cats.
Oh,
how dodgy does this sound?
That does sound so dodgy. What happened? Did they come in?
No. They said, "Oh, okay, don't worry." And then since then, we've kind of like had the phone either unplugged, because we don't use the landline at all.
Yeah.
Or like we've had it like wrapped up with like some like elastic bands.
Right.
But oh my god.
Oh wow.
How bad can you like make this sound?
Talking of which, I
Go on.
also have dialed 999
By mistake or?
when I was like 1.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I took the phone off the receiver and I dialed 999, not knowing what was going on. Obviously, I didn't purposely do it. I don't actually remember this myself, but I was told that this is something I did when I was younger. The call went through. I'm guessing that I didn't say anything, and I just left the phone where it was, because this is one of those where it's got like the cable on it. You leave it on the wall.
Yeah. Landline.
Yeah. And then apparently then the police called back and my mum was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're on about. And then she realised I must have done it. And then basically she got a bollocking from the police saying, oh, you should like take better care of your child, but make sure that these things are more supervised. They told her off properly for it.
God. There's not much you can tell a cat off about, is there?
Bad cat! No dialing 911!
That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What else can you do for that?
But then you can't really tell off an animal like an hour after it's been done, because then they'll be like, what are you telling me off?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only difficult
If like
thing
they've
about...
just done it, then yeah.
That's the only difficult thing about disciplining animals. You need to tell them off on the spot so they know what they've done, but you can't tell them off after.
Yeah. I got one more fire little story for you as well.
Yeah, go for it.
It was at school. I say that, there was two. I think I mentioned it previously. One of our teachers set the ceiling on fire in science once.
Oh my god, how did that end?
Fire brigade came.
What, and had to power out the ceiling?
That
sounds like such a weird sentence.
I don't think it was much of the ceiling. I think it like caught on to part of it, but not much.
So it burnt the ceiling, it went out, but the smoke detectors went off and sprinkled everything.
No, the sprinklers didn't go off at all.
That's awful.
I think they put it out before the fire brigade came, but the fire brigade like wanted to check, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's not the story that I was interested in. That popped up into my head. The one that I was interested in was also in school. I was a bit younger, so I think I was in primary school, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's primary?
Primary, that's the one after preschool.
We've had this discussion, haven't we? So wait, so what about the year 3 to 6? Which one's that?
See, for me, the entirety of reception to year 6 is primary school, because that's just how it was treated for me.
Right.
Someone did actually tweet us and let us know, but I still can't remember it now. Let me just quickly search for it whilst you carry on.
It's either I think it might be juniors or... no, I think it is primary. I can't remember. But I'm going to say that. So, I think I was in year 5 or 6, I want to say. It was one of the two. And suddenly out of nowhere, like, the fire alarm just randomly starts going off whilst we're in class. And, like, we all go outside. Thankfully, it's not raining, because, God. Oh, no, it was... I think it started to spit or something like that, but maybe that was it. What happened was, we had, like, playtime or whatever else. You know, you get playtime, like, during lunch or whatever, or you get it, like, at one point during the day. It's just that little break in between some lessons. And, we had this bell that we used to ring to like, tell everyone, okay, stop where you are, and in you come, and whatever else. Yeah. And, it was, like, 2 students used to always, like, ring the bell. It was always two students, and I think it was always it must have been year 6, because it was 2 of my friends at the time that did it. And like, they go put it back down, and we all come in, and then a few like minutes later the fire alarm goes off, and it's like, okay, so we all go back outside, line up in our classes or whatever, and it's still going off, and like, everyone's outside by this point. We don't know what's happened. No one set it off. No one in cooking or anything like that set it off. No one in the kitchen set it off. So we're thinking, oh, it must actually be like a genuine fire, to the point where the fire brigade gets called, and we have to go to the school round the corner from where we are for a little bit and hang out in one of their classrooms, because they're like, we can't have you on campus or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, so this has got to be
not
real.
Even in the fire assembly point?
Well, it was just like in the playground, so it wasn't like anything big.
Right.
So I guess they were just doing it for a safety reason, or just so we could go and like actually continue a lesson, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay. So we all walked over to the like next school round the corner, and about a half hour later, we get a phone call. Or like the head teacher gets a phone call telling us what's actually happened, and basically that bell that the two students were ringing, when they put it back down, it had fallen over and smacked the fire alarm.
Oh.
Which was right next to where the bell was. Bell was never kept there again, apparently. But so that's how that happened. So the fire brigade got called for a bell falling over.
Oh god, that's such a waste, isn't it?
I know. And like we were outside for like a good hour. They were there for a good half hour or so, I think, the fire brigade. So it really shows how like some simple mistakes can happen, I guess.
It's good that they take it like really seriously though. Like just in case, but it is a waste of time now that like you've explained what the root cause was.
I think we were in English at the time, so I was very thankful to be out of English because I hated English. Actually, I say that. There was one English lesson that I've loved. Oh no, there was two. One of them was we used to do like I think it was when we were like learning some like Romeo and Juliet stuff and whatever else. Our teacher would get us to actually like act it out and whatever else together, and that was so good because like that was the best way to learn it for us, I think. And we had like a really good teacher, but she got fired eventually, which sucked.
Oh, it's always the fun ones that gets fired.
Yeah, and like she wasn't. I think apparently she left, but everyone had this theory that she was fired because if she left, she would have come and said goodbye, if that made sense.
Yeah, easily.
Because she was one of those teachers.
Must have been. That's a shame.
So shout out to you if you're listening. You know who you are. We love you. We miss you. And like I started getting like really good at English at this point from that one teacher. Sucked again after that because all of our other English teachers sucked. But we won't go into that. And there was another one where we got told to bring in ingredients to make a cake.
In English?
And we made a cake. Yeah, in English.
Oh, fair enough.
We made a cake in English. How good was that?
What a good English
We did it
lesson.
on our little tables.
Was it like an English-themed cake? Like Romeo and Juliet
No,
cake?
We had to make a cake. Literally, our lesson was, we're making a cake.
Maybe that's why she got fired.
No. This was a different teacher in primary school.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, so strange.
So how good was that lesson?
That is pretty cool.
And that is all I've got to speak about for that.
And I think that's probably the end of the episode now.
I think that is. Just a quick side note, I got a gig on Friday in Canterbury. Come. I think it's in UCA Bar. So come. So, thanks.
Yeah, go see Kai and
I think it's like a $5, 16 plus.
Yeah.
Nice.
He'll scream and you get to shout at him back and go, I love you! And, just like carry him around as he crowd surfs in this bar.
I might not look like myself, I'm gonna be honest. Apparently we have to like dress up in Halloween sort of stuff, so I might paint my face up a bit.
Yeah, so if you see him referring to himself as Bob instead, yeah, he's Bob.
Hello.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, every single episode.
Wait!
Yep.
We've got one very important last subject to talk about.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This has been on the document for about 3 weeks now. And we're down to the end of this week's topics. So we have to read it out, Fraser. Okay?
Okay, so, literally the only notes on the document are lost laptop charger. I found it.
When you started speaking about the fire evacuation one, saying, I've got a really interesting story for you, I started chuckling thinking it was going to be this.
Oh, no. No.
I was like, oh, here we go.
No, it turns out I lost my laptop charger in the hotel in the NEC, or near the NEC, and I had to call them up like almost 2 months later and say, hey, do you have my charger? And he went, yeah. And they sent it back. There's obviously a little more detail, but it's just a boring conversation. It's just a boring story. So
I just really wanted it to like be off the subjects now. It's been on there for 3 weeks.
There you go. Yeah. So every single episode goes out. Fuck. Why did I shouldn't have even put that on there. Now that I've said it, it sounds like such a boring subject. Next episode will be next Wednesday, of course, only here on Spotify.
It is the community episode. Remember?
Yes.
So send us your things on Twitter at Stuck in a Podcast.
Of course, go follow us individually as well at iVexusHD and at KairosBest.
Hon.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of what else we usually say. So, yeah, follow us on Spotify. heart the episodes or whatever you do. And you guys have been listening to...
Thanks, everyone.
Don't forget to go to Kai's gig in Canterbury.
Thank you. See
Goodbye.
you at Thorpe Park or London. Bitch.